Howdy and hello, and welcome to the first video of the Battleship Texas's YouTube channel. So in this video, we think we're going to introduce the foundation and who we are, and kind of how we became involved in operating the ship for TPWD in the state of Texas. And I'm your host, at least for this episode. I'm Travis Davis. I'm the Vice President of Ship Operations for the Battleship Texas Foundation. The foundation was formed in 1998 as a 501c3, and from 1998 to August 2020, our primary role has been fundraising for and promoting the Battleship Texas and supporting TPWD as they operated the ship. TPWD has operated the ship from 1983 to 2020, August of 2020. So despite being founded in 1998, BTF can trace its lineage back much further. Our current president and CEO, Tony Gregory, his grandfather, Lloyd Gregory, was instrumental in the funding campaign in getting the ship to Texas, from Norfolk in 1948. He was kind of the leader behind the nickels and dimes and pennies, campaign by the school children of the state of Texas to pay the Navy for the work that needed to be done to the ship to get the ship here in 48. And Mr. Gregory was named the first chairman of the Battleship Texas Commission by the governor in 1948, and he served in that role until the early 1970s. When the Battleship Texas Commission, which was a state agency, was sunsetted by the legislature in 1983, and the ship was transferred to TPWD, the Battleship Texas Advisory Board was created by the legislature. It was a governor-appointed board, and Carolyn Gregory was appointed to the Battleship Texas Advisory Board and served on it until it was sunsetted in the early 1990s. Mrs. Gregory, Tony's mom, was among the founding board members of the Battleship Texas Foundation. Tony Gregory, our current CEO, and he joined the board in 2007 or 2008 and served as a board member and became chairman in the around 2010 or so, and then recently became our CEO and president. The BTF has supported TPW operations of the ship by augmenting the ship's programming options through operating the overnight education program for the last 20 years. And in that 20 years, we hosted over 60,000 kids who have become honorary battleship sailors. We've conducted countless outreach events with the ship's gun trailer, going to scout jamborees and gun shows and military appreciation events, parades. And then we've also funded summer internships with the TPWD curatorial staff who was aboard the ship. In 2014, in partnership with TPWD, we also organized and funded the 2014 ship centennial celebration and the last crew member reunion. And in addition to all that program that we've done, we have successfully raised or lobbied for capital funds for the ship from the state legislature. The first of those campaigns being in 2007, 2008, we successfully advocated for the passage of a $25 million bond by the state legislature for the dry berth project. And then we raised an additional $3 million of private funds to supplement that bond for the dry berth. And now once the dry berth was determined not to be feasible, those funds were used for repairs to the ship. Excuse me. And were used to salvage the ship in during the 2012 major flooding event. And then in 2015, we successfully lobbied the Texas State Legislature for another $25 million for a second round of critical structural repairs to the ship. And without both those rounds of structural repairs, the ship would not be in the structural condition it is today, and we would not be contemplating the project that we're doing right now, which is taking the ship to dry dock. In 2019, we successfully advocated for $35 million in appropriations for more ship repairs. And this is the shipyard project. So that $35 million that we lobbied for is paying for the ship to go from here at San Jacinto to a shipyard for repairs. And that covers, everything from insurance to tow costs to getting the ship ready to tow to the actual steel replacement costs. Because of BTF's history of support and advocacy for the ship, TPWE selected BTF as the ship's new steward. On August 1st, 2020 began operational control of Battleship Texas. Now, this all came to pass because in the summer of 2019, Senate Bill SB 1511 was unanimously passed by both the Texas House and Senate, and that bill directed TPWE to enter into an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, with a quote, appropriate nonprofit for the operation and maintenance of Battleship Texas, unquote. And given our history, well, that's us. We were a logical choice. And that's how we came to start operating the ship. And that's our history with the ship. So what's next? We just got the operation. We're now running the ship for the state of Texas, for Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, for the citizens of the state of Texas. So what's next? So our first major responsibility was to stabilize the ship, stop the amount of leaking coming into the ship. So, with that $35 million that was appropriated in 2019, we successfully reduced the amount of water inflow into the ship from around 2,000 gallons a minute to around 5 to 10 gallons a minute. Yeah, I didn't stutter there. It was 2,000 gallons a minute. That's how much we were pumping over the side. That's roughly a moderate sized swimming pool in the backyard, every minute to, 5 to 10 gallons a minute. Now, that $35 million, like I said earlier, it covers the transportation, getting the ship ready to tow, stopping all that flow rate, which we did using foam, and then, to transport the ship to the dry dock, and to do the repairs in the dry dock. And those repairs are replacement of the hull from 4 foot above the waterline to all the way down to the bottom of the ship. And that also includes all the necessary engineering and prep and planning for this project. So that's the main thing we've got going on. The other thing we have going on right now is we have removed all the secondary and anti-aircraft guns from the ship with the help of a couple of kind companies, Taylor Marine and CPS Houston, Certified Pipe Services Houston. And the energy company, NRG, has donated the use of a warehouse in their facilities and services to help us with the restoration of these guns. And we're making pretty good progress there. And so by the time that the ship comes out of the shipyard, these guns will go back on the ship, and they'll all be brightly painted in the appropriate colors. They'll be somewhat functional. They're not going to go bang. Though we really like for them to go bang. But they will go up and down and left and right, and all their breeches will open and close and that kind of stuff, so we can adequately maintain them. And we have developed an exhibit at the Lone Star Flight Museum, which is going to run through this year and hopefully part of next. We're still kind of in talks with the Flight Museum about that. And so we have a lot of stuff going on, and it's just going to get busier for us. And this is just the start of the new the next chapter in the history of Battleship Texas. So if you like hearing me prattle about the ship, I want you to smash the subscribe button like a 14-inch armor-piercing shell punching through armor. Go full send on it. And subscribe to this channel. We also have our Facebook page, our Twitter, our Instagram. We might have a Twitch. I don't know what that is. The cool kids tell us that we should probably have one, but if you guys like it and we get positive response to it, we'll probably set one up. You can follow all of our updates there on those platforms, and we'll try to keep you up to date as best we can. And we're going to keep telling the stories of the ship's crew, the ship itself, her history, and the ship's crew. can't emphasize that enough. These guys, without those guys, this ship is just steel and wood, and a technological curiosity. But crew makes it real, man. Hey, thanks for watching. Seriously, we'll see you on the next video. Speaking of the next video, we are going to be introducing all of our staff, and so you can meet all the faces that aren't on camera that should be on camera. The folks that really do make the magic happen and the work happen, and uh, um, that accomplish the great things that's been accomplished over the past couple of years. So thanks again. Have a good one.